Hello everybody and welcome to this month's vlog. I'm delighted to introduce Chris, who is here with me in Cork, and she's going to talk a little bit. I've got a few questions about your diagnosis and your journey with PV. How long ago were you diagnosed, Chris?
3 years.
And was it an easy route to diagnosis?
Not really. We'd come from South Africa. You have to apply to be, to become a patient here. You can't just pitch up at a doctor. Unfortunately, the one that I went to actually ordered a full blood count. From that, I was sent through to Cork and ended up with Claudia, which is great.
I think that highlights how different the services are in different countries.
They are indeed.
And probably coming from South Africa, are there any MPN patients in South Africa?
I see on your map now you have, but previously there was nothing. We have a dread disease policy that we still obviously, pay into. We wrote to the company, the doctor, and he hadn't a clue what we were talking about.
Gosh.
So from there, I'm hoping that seeing that South Africa is now on the map, that somebody at least has been diagnosed there.
I think we have had patients actually.
Yeah.
But I just wondered
great.
if you'd met any of them.
No,
out there.
nothing at all. No, nobody.
Yeah. So what top tips have you got for patients here in Ireland in terms of the pathway of their diagnosis? Because it's quite scary, suddenly finding you've got something that can't be cured, and I just wonder what top tips you have.
No, I think that you, yes it is, it's scary, you don't know where you're going, you don't know what's happened, have you caused it? But I do think you actually have to ask as many questions as you can. It's your body, you need to know what's going on with it. And I think people are reluctant to ask questions. It almost seems to be a no-no that you just accept what you're told. And I think these days we can't afford to.
Do you take your husband with you to the consultations?
He's been to these, which are actually great.
But sometimes having an extra pair of ears, do you think, helps? I think having...
It was interesting. The first diagnosis when he met Claudia, he was in tears because he had no clue what was going on. And also, I think, it's a worry that am I suddenly going to die? And yeah, he was quite worried about it. But now, like I say, we're all on the same page. All the family know, the kids know, grandchildren. So we're doing all right. We're fine.
That sounds good. But what tips have you got about managing your PV? I know you've spoken to me about itch. Do you have any tips for that?
I take antihistamines every day, and I keep them with me every day. It's something that, Nona, is so difficult because everything is so new. Once you're newly diagnosed, it is so new. The itch, was it PV? I didn't know.
Okay.
Sometimes lying down in bed at night, I suddenly think, I'm catching my breath, but why? But now, when you look at you look at your symptoms, it could be part of the symptoms of PV. There are so many things that are coming out that you really are not aware of. That could be your diagnosis, or it could just be part and parcel of, getting a cold or something like that. So it's really not easy. It isn't. It hasn't been easy. And I think the longer you're in it, the more you realise that it's quite treatable, that it's totally manageable. We've got fantastic specialists, absolutely fantastic specialists.
As a patient who was diagnosed in 1991, I can certainly say that. And I think also the thing that's changed as well is communication. The fact that the doctors around the world all share information with each other, and all the research projects are shared with them. And so I think, in terms, I know it's difficult because it is a relatively globally few number of patients with an MPN, because that's the way it is. It's rare. But certainly communication's got a lot better.
Absolutely. And I think for GPs generally, they need to be more informed, or they would do themselves a favour by being more informed. Mm.
But do you think that's possibly because it is rare, and so it sort of goes to, it's.
Yes, possibly, but I sort of, I booked an appointment with my GP just to find out what she knew. Absolutely nothing.
Gosh.
You know, and I said to her, but I'm your patient. It's on your screen. Everything's computers these days, so you know exactly what I've got, and you should be able to. If something happens to me over a weekend when I can't get into hospital, you should know the medications that I'm taking and why I'm taking them, and you should know basically what is going on with my body. You know, I think that's why you have your GP. Surely to goodness.
I think that a lot is being done to help spread the word about MPNs, and of course, again, every country is different.
Different, yeah.
And so I'm sorry to hear you've had that experience. I haven't heard too much of that kind of experience, but I can see what difficulties that must have caused you. So looking forward... I'm healthy. I have a fantastic specialist here in Cork, and Brilliant.
yeah, life's good.
What
Life's
more
good.
could we ask for?
can't.
What
We
more
can't.
could we ask you?
We can't.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris.
Oh,
It's
thank
been
you.
really great to
Absolute
meet you and
pleasure.
to hear your journey.
Super. Okay, thanks, Nona.
Thanks.
Ta, thank
Okay.
you.